Senior Advocate and Bar Council of India President, Mr. Manan Mishra, sir, thank you, sir, very much for speaking to India today. The court has dismissed these petitions challenging the oath ceremony, the appointment of Victoria Gowri. How do you see this entire issue? Is this something that should have been considered by the Collegium, or is this something that is being created as a without reason?
No. The court today has dismissed the petition, and it's the perfect decision. See, the name is recommended by the High Court Collegium. Then it goes to the government. IB inquires into the matter, into the conducts and everything. Thereafter, the entire material is considered by the Supreme Court Collegium. Supreme Court Collegium makes its recommendation to the government, and government, after inquiry, takes a decision, and Honorable President of India, he issues the warrant of appointment. In this case, entire material were before all the authorities, including the Supreme Court Collegium and the High Court Collegium. We can't say that these materials, the so-called allegation with regard to the hate speech and all that made sometimes in the year 2018, they were not before the Collegium of the High Court or the Supreme Court. It is unbelievable because so many, once the name is recommended, hundreds and thousands of complaints and letters are sent to the collegiums and the government. Therefore, now at this stage, when the warrant of appointment was issued, the Mrs. Gowri was to take the oath. It was not at all actually good on the part of the any judicial side, any Supreme Court or High Court to interfere into this matter.
Sir, but yesterday when this matter was mentioned, the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud himself noted that there was some information that came before the Collegium after the recommendation had been sent, and that is why he chose to agree to hear this. Do you think there is something wrong with the way these discussions are being held? Is there something wrong with the Collegium system?
Actually, what happened? Whatever Honorable Chief Justice of India at the time of mentioning, he observed or he commented, that was based on the submissions made by the mentioning lawyers. It was not on the basis of the record. The records were not before him yesterday.
But he is the head of the Collegium, he is the Chief Justice.
No, he is not supposed to remember each and every page and each and every line of the any file for recommendation. Therefore, whatever were observed by the Honorable Chief Justice and whatever submissions were made by the mentioning lawyer, the senior advocate, Mr. Ramchandran, that for that only the Honorable Chief Justice actually placed the matter for hearing today. Therefore, whatever transpired during the course of mentioning, it has no leg to stand.
So when we come to these issues of speeches being made or social media posts or articles, we've seen in a couple of cases very recently the Collegium also saying that social media posts or public opinions are not relevant when it comes to eligibility or suitability. Certainly. But in this particular case, the allegation was about outright hate speech against certain communities in the country. How do you see this entire issue? Should the Collegium come up with some sort of a guideline?
See, 2018, she was a lawyer. Had it been a case of misconduct or professional misconduct, the matter would have come to the State Bar Council or Bar Council of India. We examined our record. We made this submission before the Honorable Court also today. There was no allegation of anything. Now, this for last 4 years, where were these lawyers and the persons who are making these allegations at this moment? They would have taken appropriate step, but they were keeping mum. Once the name was recommended by the Collegium, they started doing all these things. Even if he is not a lawyer, he is not a judge, she was a lawyer, the proceedings could have been initiated against her. But nobody took it seriously. We don't know whether this substance or the allegations are true or not. Nobody knows.
But my question is, should we see some change in the way the Collegium looks at things? Should these social media posts, articles, interviews, etc. be considered?
Collegium examines everything, whatever materials it can collect. It consults the concerned judges, the High Court, the agencies, the IB, everybody is there. Therefore, there is no need of any change in the system of the Collegium.
Thank you very much. So we were just speaking to Advocate Manan Mishra, who's the president of the Bar Council of India, who's saying that the Collegium would have considered all issues. This has been a point of controversy for the last several days in the Madras High Court and also in the Supreme Court of India, particularly as the question was raised regarding the suitability and eligibility of a lawyer to take oath as a judge. The petitioners have argued that since there was hate speech and articles written by this particular lawyer, she is not eligible to take oath on the Constitution. The Supreme Court, on the other hand, saying that they cannot interfere at this stage because the Collegium and the government would have looked into all of these aspects. A big question is being raised in this particular case because of the allegations and the process that was followed with regard to this particular appointment. On the other side, arguments also being raised that this is only being done since there are objections to the political affiliations of this particular judge. In any case, LC Victoria Gowri has taken oath as an additional judge of the Madras High Court, and now she is Justice Victoria Gowri till the time the Collegium or the government looks into confirmation of her position as a High Court judge. In New Delhi, this is Aneesha Mathur for India Today.